How do I feel about being black? I love it.
Why gingers are black. A lot of y'all Irish people were right beside black people on the plantation. Okay? FYI. But all of y'all are descendants of a Haitian deity named Brigitte Samedi. That's why all gingers...
I'm so flattered by the black community. I ain't never been called a king before. That's nice. Red velvet? Ooh.
She said redheads, gingers are black, okay? And it did not matter to us that she was not talking about culture. It did not really matter that she was talking about having a common ancestor. That is an added layer of beauty for sure. But for us, we've been ready to leave. Okay, you said that, and no sooner were the words out of your mouth than we had, divorce papers were served and we were halfway down the block.
This will get me canceled or not. So basically, the past 24 hours has been one of the most enlightening, healing, positive 24 hours of my life. The black community really took in us gingers. We're like, we got you. And they gave us a big bear hug and said, you're going to heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. And I couldn't be more appreciative. Like, from the bottom of my heart, everyone that left comments, like, I tried to reply to all of them. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. Here's my thing. I study politics. I study racial disparity. I study, gender and social justice and what that looks like within law and like, government. That's my area of, like, knowledge. So, this is a two-way street. The black community has taken gingers, adopted us, and loved us unconditionally now. Now it's our turn to love back. And I think we are in a very unique... hold on. This is not unique. What is happening right now, the racial disparities, that's not unique. That's always been happening. Let me preface that. But we are in a unique position with this, black community, ginger community coalescence, this mixture, that we can now use that. We can use that collective, mobilize from that collective, and now it's our turn to get you. You know what I mean? You loved us, let me show you love. I got you. I support you. Like, ride or die type shit. You feel me? Like, we got an opportunity here. And I know everyone's being evasive about the culture shit, but man, everything is political. Everything. I'm sure if the president had stubbed his pinky toe too hard and it was slightly off-white, he'd deport it. So, we have a really unique opportunity right now with this media thing going on to mobilize that. And I wanted to kind of let everyone know that, like, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so appreciative. And that I got you. And I actively try to, whether it's me doing my research thesis or my, doing my research on my grants, I promise I always try to include your lived experience. And if you have any other suggestions on how the ginger community can be of service, because you guys have done so much for us in the past few days, we are going to, create a safe space for that.
Okay, gingers, I know we got some exciting news this week. And I just want to remind you that we all need to be on our best behavior, because if anybody screws this up for us, the hell that will be unleashed upon you. This is the first thing that has made sense in the year of our Lord 2025. Do not fuck it up.
How do I feel about being black? I love it. My whole For You page right now is that gingers are black. First of all, thank you. The biggest thing I want to say is that my whole life, the biggest, by far, biggest cheerleaders of my appearance, of my hair, of my skin, of my freckles, have been black women. It's been from such a beautiful place. It's so sincere. A lot of gingers are coming on here and talking about how we were bullied. And yes, I was too. I was called Casper. Somebody said that I was see-through. I was so pale I was see-through because you could see my veins. I was bullied. We were all bullied. Gingers were not having a moment in the 90s the way that they are now. And second of all, if I get to be an honorary member of the 98%, I am taking that all day. Thank you. That's the team I want to be on. I am so disappointed in my own race, my own gender, and the way that we work against ourselves. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, though, that my experience in life has been anything like what Black women deal with. This is all fun and games, and I love it so much. But like, let's all remember also that, yes, this is hilarious. And yes, we all want to be invited to the cookout so bad. Like, tell me who all going to be there. What can I bring, or nothing. I mean, I do season my food, but anyway, I'm getting off track. I still have white privilege. And gingers, I know we're only 2% of the population, but that's still a good number of people. And maybe if we all like this dialogue and we are all excited about the idea that we get to be maybe like just a tiny bit part of the Black community or adjacent to it, then maybe we should like think about what we could do to support them, not just how they've supported us and how sweet this whole conversation is.
So I woke up, found out I'm Black apparently. It is frustrating that most of my life has been a lie, but I do want to say thank you. I'm very happy. I'm glad finally everyone's recognizing that gingers have been Black this entire time. I do identify myself as a Black woman. And I'm super excited to carry on the work of the Black community. And I do want to say, gingers, like, y'all know, do not say that unless you're one of us.
Okay, my mind is actually blown after seeing the gingers are Black trend going on and hearing that if you're ginger, you have African ancestry. You can see my husband and I, we both are brunette. He was blonde when he was younger. I've always had brown hair, but we had 3, do I dare call them ginger babies? But we had 3 redheaded kids. Oddly enough, I am 50 years old and I just found out last November at Thanksgiving that my sister and I do indeed have African heritage. This is literally this is so crazy to me. We have the Congolese and Southern East African, Angolan and Congolese. I know it's not much, but they are saying that you do have that in your DNA if you have ginger hair. And so it just kind of blew my mind that indeed there's confirmation that we do. My sister and I both have done ancestry DNA too, and it doesn't show up there, but it does show that we have quite a bit of Scottish and some Irish, not as much in me. I think she has more than I do. Anyway, I mean, hey, this is absolutely wild. If you have redheads in your family or you're a redhead, I want to hear if you have African ancestry.
I'm hiding in my room because my poor son has been hearing me talk for the last 4 or 5 days about this whole gingers TikTok, gingers are Black people phenomenon. And I've been talking to my kids so much about it because it is having such a big impact on me. And, at first when I saw that sweet woman's first post, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And and then a bunch of the videos after that were just kind of fun and playful and made me giggle. And then probably like every other, why am I going to cry? Every other ginger who saw it and heard this whole trend, we started to realize we're being protected, we're being defended, and someone is actually acknowledging that this shit happened to all of us. And listening to all the ginger stories and resonating with every single word for word, every single word. That was my experience growing up. And I love being a redhead now, but I hated it growing up. And I'm old. I was born in 1970. So being a redhead in the 70s and the 80s was horrible. And I always look at little redheads today and I always give them that, what's up? I give them the we're all family nod when I see a little redhead, and I see a little redheaded child, and I just want to whisper and be like, it's going to be okay. You just keep going, push through. You're going to make it. Things are going to be good, and you're going to love yourself eventually, right? But yeah, this has been amazing to heal so many hurts of ginger children grown up. Growing up, there was no redheads in the magazines. It was all blonde, tan people. And I wanted to be blonde and tan. I wanted to fit in. And I tried to change my appearance. I used sun-in on my hair. That just made it more orange. And I would try and get a tan, which is sadly only you turn red like a lobster and peel and you got more freckles. And so I did not want any more freckles, so I would avoid the sun. And I thought if I put sunscreen on, I won't get freckles. And the thing with that is you would put sunscreen on so you wouldn't burn, but the freckles would be like, boom, they would just come out and you're like, no, 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 no. And then I thought, well, if I get enough freckles and they merge, I'll look like a tan, beautiful, normal person. Hated my skin, I asked my mom for this money in an infomercial once that said it got rid of freckles. She said, no, your freckles are beautiful. I'm like, Mom, they're not. Nobody likes it. And then trying to dye my hair blonde. My sister did a frosting kit back then because kids didn't go get their hair done in the salons back in the 70s and 80s. But my sister did a frosting kit on me, and the next day I just looked like a candy striper. It was like blonde, red, blonde, red. But we wanted to change ourselves to fit in and be more palatable for the white people. It was all because of my fellow white people treating us like we are others and funny and ridiculous and made fun of and teased. Always the butt of the jokes. Always a joke at our expense of the way we look. Always growing up. And I'll beat you like a redheaded stepchild. I was a redheaded stepchild and I was beaten like a redheaded stepchild. Sorry, that's not funny, but and then it's so many are saying the same things, but yeah, does the carpet match the drapes? And that was asked of me when I was a little girl in grade school by older people, and I didn't have carpet yet. So horrible to have to deal with that as a young child, still deal with it as a grown-up. Definitely fetishized and told, I have no soul, you must be hot in the sack, like all this stuff. Oh, you fiery temper, not taken seriously because you're a redhead. If you get upset about anything, it's like, oh, okay, temper, red, ginger, and people shaming you. It's just something. The beautiful, beautiful kindness of the Black community. I mean, of course. Just the love is just overwhelming. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but you are healing the souls of the soulless. The ginger soulless people are getting healed by your love. I hope this never goes away. Nobody messes it up. But yeah, this has been an amazing week. I can't stop smiling. I want to go out in public and be like, does anyone want to hug? Does anyone want to hug? Let's do this. But yeah, just knowing that there's an acknowledgement globally of that we were treated like shit. And we all just ha 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 laughed it off because if you couldn't have you had to have thick skin and you couldn't take anything personally. So it was a joke. And I don't think I ever talked to anybody about any of this really. And so it's coming out this week and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've all been just sitting on it. Like it's just something we had to accept. And there's something really beautiful and moving about all of us realizing that we went through the same stuff and that it wasn't okay. And we've got these beautiful people in this beautiful community having our backs. It's I feel like we won the lottery, and I feel like we got invited to the cool kids party. We got invited to the cool kids party.
Why gingers are black. A lot of y'all Irish people.
I need all my friends that told me growing up that I was not white, that I was black, to come to this post, because you all have apparently been validated. Now, I want to preface this by saying I do not appropriate, I appreciate. And with that being said, I am not trying to woe Vicky this situation. I just want to point out a few things that validate what this woman is talking about. Now, my granny, which is my father's mother, they did her DNA before she passed away. Now, she has some Scottish, well, a lot of Scottish, Irish, a little bit of European, and Western Bantus people in her. Now, mind you, it was not much, but it was there. Now, my granny helped my daddy raise me, and there were so many things that she used to do that my daddy used to do that I used to just think was old wives' tales. just superstitions and whatnot, like throwing the salt behind your left shoulder or spitting on a broom because somebody swept over your feet because now you wasn't going to get married, or sweeping behind your feet. Now you're going to jail. You didn't want those things to happen, so you spit on the broom. And it was other things, like my daddy would not let me split a pole when we were walking because that was bad luck. And it was all types of things. You step on the back of his foot, he had to tap you on your back. It was just all kinds of things like that. And then I come on this here app and I found out that's hoodoo practices. I thought it was superstition. And mind you, Exhibit A, my hair. Now, if I try to use some hair care products targeted at white people, my shit is going to be dry, frizzy, and just broke off looking. But tonight, I did a co-wash with Shea Moisture and let it air dry. I ain't scrunch it and I ain't put shit on it. This is just how it came out. Now, I know they say the curl pattern is supposed to start at the root, but do y'all see how it flips at the root? It is not a deep curl, but it is a very deep wave. Also, I would like to point out the fact that I am almost 43 years old. I am not wearing a filter. I'm still breaking out like a fucking teenager. And y'all see all those wrinkles? Yeah, that's right, you don't. Now go look at another white person that's 43.
So I woke up today and apparently gingers are black now. And do I like it? Yeah, it's good. I've been scrolling the videos and, I'm taking in all the information, and there's some good points, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm laughing, they're funny, like, everyone's kind of just coming together with it. Like, it's a good, like, I don't even know what to call it, but I'm happy, it feels good to be, like, appreciated for these kind of things. I'm glad somebody sees it, you know what I mean? I'm glad somebody sees all my redheads are, like, finally, like, after all this time, there's a lot of redheads older than me that, they've been going for a while longer, but it's like, it's good. I I love it. My the spices in my cabinet are dancing right now, you could say. But I hope there's a good outcome to all of this. So, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm gonna be scrolling all day, just watching them all. So
it did not really matter that she was talking about having a common ancestor. That is an added layer of beauty for sure. But for us, we've been ready to leave. Okay, you said that, and no sooner were the words out of your mouth than we had, divorce papers were served and we were halfway down the block. I cannot stress enough how stupid life is for no reason, sometimes for redheads. Like, most of the time, people just, you're just another person, right? You're just another white guy. But then there's handfuls of people that you run into, like landmines, and they have a very strong opinion about your existence, okay? Half of them will fetishize you, which I don't know, I don't get a lot of that personally, but it has happened, right? I've had people saying, oh, they love my hair, and then they touch me. They touch my hair. That happens even to me. I have the sexual appeal of a big toe with a yeast infection, okay? So if that's happening to me, I know that redheaded women are dealing with just dog-ass men so much all the time. And on the other side of that, you've got people who just can't not bring up that you're a redhead. It's like the scene from Austin Powers when he's like, moly, 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 moly. It's like that. It feels like that. And that's before we even get into South Park. Like, the same jokes for 20 years, never once realizing that the episode was making fun of people like that. People who would do what you've done for 2 decades. And just for me, I don't like the term ginger, okay? Now, that's because the term didn't exist in my world until after that episode. And so everybody who used it was using it as like a pejorative. Now, for younger people, that may not be so true. It's been so widespread in the, the common lexicon that it's just interchangeable with redhead. And that's fine, I guess. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, pushing 30 or in their 30s who are redheaded don't like that term either. And you should know, too, about redheads is that, like, in general, we are just fiery people. Like, don't ever give a redhead an ultimatum because they're never going to pick the smart decision, okay? When we come up against injustice, we don't call the manager, all right? We're going to burn the store down, right? Like, we're down. We're so down for whatever the cause is. And redheads, if you're watching this, please remember, I know this is fun right now. I know you guys are trying to run with this, and some of you are being just so great with it. Please be respectful. Please be mindful that you are white. Your skin is white. You carry that privilege, no matter what TikTok says, okay? Be mindful, be respectful, because at some point, this fun is going to be over. This discourse is going to end, and it would be great if people, non-white people, could be like, ugh, white people. Not redheads, though. You know? Like, I think that's a good target to be trying to hit right now. So, you know.
I know I look terrible. I just woke up, got out of bed, saw one of the most beautiful videos ever. It was about me. I've hit a lot of pain in my life. A lot. And I'm now able to talk about it. I woke up going viral, getting thousands of followers, support, love, comments, DMs, feeling truly wanted. And now it's time to talk about my story. A story of 4 black men who impacted my life like no other. From first grade to today. I've known these men for like 26 plus years. And I get to talk about them and my story.
Alright guys, all I gotta know, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? It's came to my attention in the last 24 hours that I'm black. I got a lot of mixed emotions. I don't know how to feel about this. There's no directions, okay? There's nothing telling me what I can and cannot do now. I mean, what do I qualify for? You know, what am I disqualified? What are my disqualifying factors here? I mean, I know I get to get the chirp, you know, I got to get a fire alarm, battery going dead. I know this. I know the rules. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is some really crazy news coming out here. But anyways, somebody welcome me to the club.
Hi, what's up, my good people? It's your girl Beryl. Thank you all for those who've been watching, subscribing, and listening to my channel. Yes, you've watched the video compilation of what's going on in a small town in Georgia, where cookouts were actually and are actually considered sacred, and sweet tea is running thicker than gossip, and something actually extraordinary happened that day. Her name was who? Molly O'Brien. She was a pale red head with freckles, with like stars. She had freckles. Right? Okay. You understand who I'm describing? The red head woman. And she wasn't black, and she was never invited. But what did Molly do? See, Molly was able to show up to a cookout with no invite. Yes. Now, before you call the culture police, just wait a minute. Because what happened next would be written into cookout history, because you've watched the video, right? What happened is actually something that is considered to be history. Yeah. So it was on a Saturday where just like the normal cookouts, the grills were hot, uncles were there gossiping and arguing about the NBA team and which team was better, and then the cousins were already dancing to the music, and the music had already started. Then all of a sudden, from the sidewalk came a nervous knock. They had a knock, and everyone was like, who is that? So there stood Molly, the redhead woman. She had a casserole dish in her hand, and now the person who opened the door was, let's say, Uncle Ray. He was like, who in the barbecue sauce is this? Who the is this? You get me? Everybody was like, what's going on here? So Molly introduced herself, saying that she's Molly. She saw the Facebook post about the cookout, and she brought yams with marshmallows. So people are curious. So one of the aunties called and asked her, "Where are you from, baby? Where are you from?" And then Molly was able to respond by saying that she was from Savannah, but she's been able to actually get a chance to learn about Black history. She's watched Roots more than 3 times, and she has cried every single time she's watched it. So then suddenly everybody like was shocked because a redhead at a cookout. You get me? She brought a casserole dish. hmm So one of the uncles grabbed a plate, and so they invited her in. Like if she brought yams, she might as well just sit down, right? Yeah. So there's a test now because every cookout there's always a test. Some folks are calling it the mark test. Others just, I don't know, call it the spades or something. So for Molly, it was the wobble. Yes, Molly came prepared. The DJ put that beat, the crowd was yelling, and they were just calling and yelling, "Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby." So Molly just couldn't resist the wobble. She was all out. She stepped on the grass like crazy. She wobbled left, right, and center. She wasn't scared. And then, like, everybody was so shocked because people were like, "Oh, Lord have mercy, that girl's got rhythm." And the crowd went wild with her dancing. Yeah, the crowd went wild considering she's white people don't know how to dance. Let me not lie. Most of them, not all of them, okay? So from that moment on, Molly wasn't just a guest at the cookout, she was now part of the family. That's what they actually considered her to be at that point because she blended in so well. So later that night, there were fireflies, everybody was dancing, the grill was cooled, and Molly sat beside the auntie and just thanked her for letting her stay because she said that she never felt like she could fit anywhere. But today she actually felt seen. And the auntie was like, "Baby, culture ain't about color, it's about the heart. And you know you got the seasoning." Yeah, okay. So, let me just ask a question, guys. Would you invite someone to the cookout? Tell us in the comment. hmm Please subscribe for more bold African twist and such like stories. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, this is so crazy that she was so confident, and I mean, she just went all out and felt so comfortable, guys. No matter how the cookouts are, the crowd and all, and it has actually this video has actually gained a lot of reactions on both TikTok platforms and various online platforms. Yeah. So cookouts are actually, some people would be asking what is a cookout? It's actually most people is a cookout whereby the black culture is being respected. How do I put this? The concept of being invited to the cookout is a colloquial expression within the black culture, and it actually symbolizes acceptance and camaraderie extended to the non-black individuals who show genuine appreciation and respect for black culture. Like the redhead, she really did appreciate our culture. Yeah, and it's crazy, but she came in and the black people were able to welcome her in, and now she's being considered black because she's now part of the family, even though her skin color complexion doesn't match. I tell you, black people are full of love, guys, and the world is headed to a very good place because with the internet, with such information, we guys can be united, work together, and express so much cultural exchange and just love. Yeah, this cultural moment has actually resonated widely, with many redheads expressing gratitude for that inclusion, and black creators are embracing the opportunity for cultural cross-culture connection and humor. Because trust me, it's not easy for a white person to be invited to a cookout because they don't like their meat also well done or something like that. Just the culture is so different that they decide not to attend. But with the people like Molly who are so open minded and know so much history, it's wonderful. It's just wonderful, guys. Yeah, so watch out for more videos. Please subscribe, like, repost. Tell me, what do you think about this video? Tell me. And now we welcome you, redheads, to the family. By the way, I welcome you. You are now a black person. Welcome to the family. Please, guys, subscribe. We are headed to 500 subs. We are almost halfway there. I need you to assist me reach there, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.